All right, we're starting a little bit late, but it's because I had to deal with some IRL stuff.
Yeah, visibility's not too bad. I've seen worse.
Visibility is about up to, I would say, 100 meters max. Nah, like if you look through on the open, you can still see the far trees, but it cuts off pretty much
some of
at.
Skelly's night missions. I'll tell you that much. He'll be fine.
Why you dissing Skelly, man? He's in the multi today.
I had to. Especially if he's in the multi. Are you kidding?
Wait, what? Bart? No. It's time to shitpost Barb for shitposting.
Yes, I made a mission.
Here's the biggest thing that is gonna make or break this for both sides. So one side gets a T80B from the looks of it, and the other side, which T72 did they give them? Because certain shells from that T80. Okay, they gave him a T72B. They're comparable. The T80 is going to be a bit more maneuverable, though.
I like the theme, though. They're trying to recreate the 1990, 1940s Winter War? 30s to 40s?
1939.
Yeah.
I believe it was, but yeah.
They literally just did a campaign on this shit, and you don't even know what year it is.
That was like 3 to 4 months ago, dude. I'm jumping from project to project here.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Winter War? No.
Yeah.
That was
that was a while ago.
Great Road was like 3 months ago. If you're talking about the other NF campaign I tried to get off the ground, but the keys borked, that was like at least a month ago.
Oh, well. It's nice to see the servers running.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they took out some of their client-side mods like suppress and enhance soundscape, and that'll help them out with the load-in.
Big difference.
Yep, because suppress would calculate every time bullets were fired at you. Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot smoother today. What are the numbers looking like? I didn't even check that. We're at least in triple digits.
BLUFOR gets, we're at 110 plus. Red 4 has the advantage here. BLUFOR, I'm just looking at the areas they have to go and defend. It's what let's
update that to the title.
Defense? Yeah, cash defense.
Yeah, it's a three cash defense. 50-minute round.
I'm just looking at it. All of these are actually pretty easy to defend.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's, how about this? Let's go through and let's look at OPFOR real quick. So OPFOR, they've got transport VIX, they have 2 BTR-80s, and is that a T-72 or T-80?
T-80B.
That's a T-80.
T-80B. Alright.
The turret's a little bit rounder, but it's pretty hard to distinguish between
You'll be able
the two,
to tell the
personally.
difference once the engine is running, trust me. T-80 has a jet turbine engine, the T-72 has a diesel engine.
Gotcha. So OPFOR, on top of that, they have a 10% numbers advantage, which with, 100 plus players, that means they at least have about, an extra 7 to 10 for that. I like how Dingo hasn't had his loadout given to him yet. He's just standing around as a CSAT guy with an N95 mask.
He might have crashed out.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't dupe his kit. These guys have 545 based weaponry, but looks like, Charlie 1, Foxtrot 1, Foxtrot 2 are going to be the machine gun teams with PKPs. Matt team weapon is going to be the RPG-32. So your standard Russian guys, but they do have those Takistani helmets, which I think is kind of cute. But I'm not seeing...
Red 4?
Yeah, Red 4.
It's just your Soviet-era SSH helmet.
Yeah. I call them Takistani. Wait, Players network does not meet speed requirements for the server. Tarnfolk. I've never seen that one before.
I've never seen that.
Nice. It's time again for FNF. I agree, Larry. Let me get to you in a second.
Out myself now.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. The reason they adjust the numbers for the server is so that they can make sure no one's one connection lags the server out too much by having a ping too high because of the really old Arma framework they've been using for over 2 decades now. But
it's time again for FNF.
OPFOR's got 3 caches to assault BLUFOR already going around. Looking at BLUFOR's weaponry again, they're gonna have 7.62 based guns. Looks like ×1 scopes similar to OPFOR. but they got PKM's PKP. Their AT guy is going to be a Carl Gustav, though. And I also see they have some not static, some 50 cal off-roads with gun shields on them. I didn't see that on the roster, though, so...
Neither did I. That'll make some interesting moves. Depends on if they run straight into their T80.
Yeah, but I mean, at least with that mobility, they'll be able to maybe get behind the enemy infantry. But at the same time, with visibility only going out to about 100 meters tops from the ground perspective, it's going to be more towards luck if they even get into that. I'm also noticing that the AT at the squad level for BLUFOR is the RPG-26, which is a single shot tube. I'm going to go back and look at OPFOR here.
With the AT framework for some of the people, just because, you know, for the longest time, BLUFOR, or let's just go with BLUFOR would get an AT4, while OPFOR would get
the RPG that was reloadable.
Reload or whatever. So to balance things, they're like, well, why not just use the RPG-26?
Yeah, no. If they really wanted to balance it, what they should do is give BLUFOR the M72A laws and OPFOR the RPG-26s, and that's literally like the Russian copy of the law. So
pretty much.
I could see that getting rebalanced right there. But yeah, no. So squads are given single shot AT now. I think that's kind of interesting. Both teams, yep, both BLUFOR and OPFOR.
So that'll be good. That'll be a good thing to see. It is worth noting both tanks do not have thermals. So their view range is going to be severely limited as well. So you're just, you know, mind yourself, walking through the fog, and you run straight into an enemy tank. It'll actually be, in these conditions, rather easy to outmaneuver.
I agree.
A tank. So
anyway, Larry, thanks for the $50, man. Yes, we have Friday Night Fights Hour. We're going through everything. I had some tacos, so I started the stream a little late. But thank you so much, man. I'm gonna put that money to cider. I hope you keep enjoying everything. I hope you get a kick out of this one.
Not really much to go off of here.
Well, let's
The easiest place to defend will be the center objective. There's a wall going around all of it. It's in the easiest spot to defend in the entire freaking building.
You know, this I feel like this particular section has actually been used in a previous AO.
It has.
Where they used the warehouse building instead, but I mean, they got a military base right next to it that they can set stuff on, and that military base is part of the zone, because you also have to consider the central objective has the largest zone, but with all of these well-fortified areas, BLUFOR could easily mount a few teams worth of dudes in buildings and lock that area down really well. The real battle is going to be who's able to utilize their tank more effectively, because if OPFOR can get their tank to start shelling some of those buildings, that's going to be game over for BLUFOR pretty early on. I do want to look at... Go ahead.
I'm not sure what loadout they gave the tanks, because remember, they do limit the amount of HE shells that they get, so...
A little bit of desync.
It's also worth noting all of the
Jesus,
caches
Mod.
are on the second floor of buildings.
Mod, what did you do? Modadic, no. No more hype trains. Okay. Larry, no more hype trains. Also, Zope, how you doing?
Until someone throws a grenade.
Oh dear, it's round one of EU.
Disconnect for speed requirements. Bread, TSB player.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of seeing it now, though. If you look at BLUFOR side, we're having a little bit of rubber banding here, but I think this is because players are connecting and reconnecting.
You can see it on all sides.
Yeah.
Send in Goat Team 6. Now.
Hopefully it'll stabilize within a safe start. Let's look at the southern objective. I kind of like this one because it has its own little perimeter as well. It's a quiet little hamlet, but this does allow OPFOR to basically get right on top of this objective. But I still think putting a team in this building would suffice pretty well.
Goat Team 6.
Probably at least to trade evenly. Meanwhile, on the northern objective, I mean, it's kind of the same way.
Send in Goat Team 6.
You got some forested areas to get close to the objective, but again, it's a big building. And that would let... I mean, actually, no, this building doesn't have any windows that are accessible. So that one's also a bit tougher.
A PSA from one of the FNF staff. Don't mark in global chat, so someone has fucked up somewhere and marked their plan in global.
I don't think that's the case. I've seen people mark in global chat in the past, and usually it's fake battle plans to throw off the other team. So I don't think that's the case because we're seeing if we actually go to global,
Send in goat
it's
team
Patriot
6
writing
now.
main attack on it. I think that's a bluff. Because these guys will use any advantage they can to try to throw off
Send in
the
goat
other team.
team
But
6
I mean, if you
now.
put a plan on the map and then make the players on the other side defend against that plan, but then you actually have a real plan that goes completely around
Send
that
in
original
goat
plan.
team 6 now.
Sounded a little meta right there, but you can easily win the fight by doing something like that. But
Go move down
Send
and
in
just
goat
watch
team
the red 4
6
herd just
now.
kind of, or OPFOR, whatever.
just
Herd,
rubber band around.
just rubber band around. It's quite amusing.
Send in goat team 6 now.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Worst comes to worst, they will
Send in goat
we'll just
team
restart the
6
server between this
now.
round and round 2, and that should hopefully stabilize it. Either way, I don't know. I
Send
can
in
hope the
goat team
desync stabilized.
6
I think that's just because
now.
people are connecting, reconnecting to the server, and the server's playing catch up. I mean, they got rid of a lot of those optional mods that were causing that desync in the
Send in goat team
roster there, but
6
we'll have to see
now.
how things go. But regardless, I think the team that's going to win this fight is whoever can better utilize their tank.
Send in goat team 6
Like-
now.
I just don't see it being that useful with this short view range.
I think if they could get a tank in an urban environment and have the other team whiff their AT, that tank is going to become hell to deal with.
Well, yeah.
But it's unlikely, admittedly. But OPFOR with all this additional armor, if they can completely circumvent where the BLUFOR Mat team gunner is, I think that I think OPFOR could easily have this in the bag. Never mind, they gave it to Eander. Nope, OPFOR screwed. GG, BLUFOR wins.
What, does Ian have the RPG?
Yeah, they gave Eander the fucking Mat team rifle.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would not want to
Did
be
they
an
take
OPFOR
the
armor
Mat
player
team?
on that.
I think they took. Yeah, no. Ian is Charlie too. That is the.
Yep, he is Charlie 2 AT. So that's
Oh, wow! This is a rarity. It
What?
has the Moz scope on it as well. Typically, they give you just the iron sights. I thought.
Yep. They probably have the Moz scope to counter the RPG 32 scope to again
Right,
make
yeah,
it more
right.
balanced, but yeah, no. I don't have a direct clip of him doing it, but I know he has a clip on his channel of him shredding in that Helm's Deep style siege op. From a few weeks ago, Eander got like, yeah, he got 2 close range shots, pulled back, and then got like a 450, 500 meter shot in the blink of an eye. It was actually really amazing to watch.
For that mission.
Mm-hmm. So it's Iceberg and Barb casting.
I
Barb,
believe
do you have
they
any
were using
thoughts?
The enemy's AT as well. On that.
Yeah, they took out the helicopter that landed the enemy Mat team, and they killed the Mat team, took his AT, and used it. But Barb, let's hear you. It's been Ice and I dominating. Come on.
Oh, well, hey, that's usually what you do.
Send
But
in goat team 6
Larry,
I'm
no.
going to agree with Iceberg with as far as the tank. This view distance, even if you're trying to look for silhouettes, it's
Send in goat team
incredibly
6
tough to say the
now.
least. So my agree is as far as like the tanks aren't going to be that useful. However, the fact that the Mat teams don't have
Send in
javelins
goat
this
team
time
6 now.
gives them some potential at least. So we'll see how well
You got
they
a sub
can
from Modder
deal
Larry.
with
Make
the
sure you
AT
thank him.
infantry.
Larry, thanks for the 50
'Cause
bucks
once
and the
that's
20 subs.
down,
Mod,
it's
thanks for the
something
20
that
subs. I
between
hope
two
you all
tanks,
keep enjoying the
and
op.
whoever
Stay safe
wins
from
can
COVID, and I hope you get a
shred
kick out of
probably
this
most
one.
the other team. But
Send in
it's
goat
gonna take a
team
while before we
6
see what
now.
actually happens as far as this very close quarters tank warfare, and
Send
we
in
have
goat
some
team
experience as
6
far as
now.
tanks in close quarters.
1 second.
Send in goat team 6 now.
Gotta tab out because I got more Twitch URLs. To
Send in
add.
goat team 6 now.
We have a lot of people streaming this one.
Send in goat team 6.
Looks like
Barb, I'm
I
gonna send you an
want to-
updated Twitch URL.
Thank you. Because yes, you did actually send me one. I never updated it.
Send
Yeah, it
in
looks like they're
goat
not really
team
garrisoning
6
the northern
now.
objective. They have the tank up here and Kenny, who is Command 2 IC.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
I would say this is a pretty common strategy we see in Friday night fights. Usually when the defending team is given 3 objectives, they will scuttle one, put a small defensive on another, and then have a majority of their defensive lines at, like, you know, what they consider the best objective to be. What's also curious is we have a fire team on its own down to the south from the central objective, and they've got 2 AT guys, so I think they're thinking to possibly use those guys to try to snipe any of the BTRs early on to try to get an advantage there. But otherwise, mission has started. Looks like the rubber banding has actually stopped with it. So I guess it was just some issue with safe start. We just saw BLUFOR gun down Stottenbay. I have no idea why, but he is dead. On BLUFOR.
Wait, what? Where?
Send in Goat Team 6.
Stottenbay is dead.
Where?
Delta 2 for BLUFOR. And I don't see a copy of him down
Send
anywhere,
Oh, no, he's
so...
dead.
Yeah.
He's KO. What the fuck?
I heard gunshots, and that's what I saw. So I don't know. I have various questions, but we're just gonna play it off as if nothing happened. So, already, first strike to BLUFOR on BLUFOR within the first minute of the game starting.
10 seconds, not even a minute.
Oh man, you gotta love those quick kills you get in the first 10 seconds of search and destroy on Call of Duty. There you go.
Oh boy, we have BLUFOR's tank headed off to the corner of the map to do absolutely nothing for the next hour.
You know, I'd normally say something to counter you about that, but no, you're absolutely right. We usually do see tanks get squandered in these matches, and it pisses me off.
They might see the convoy flanking around, but they're gonna have to get in a really good hidey position.
They're gonna have to get close. Because the render distance when you go down, since they don't have enough thermals, I mean, it's even worse on the OPFOR side. It is going a little to higher ground if you, Actually, no, let me do some number comparisons. Actually, no, it's by 10 meters. So they literally go from like 50s to 60s up into BLUFOR's territory. That's why the fog kind of
make any difference,
alleviates.
BLUFOR isn't positioning well.
I mean, no, actually, you're right. The fog got thicker. Yeah, no, the fog got a lot thicker. It's now within 50 meters of visibility.
Kenny also ran into a rock, but he seems to be fine.
Oh god, are you being the convoy tracker for when they desync and kill each other within the first minute of the round, Barb?
Oh yeah, because you never get the footage.
Touché.
Xenos in my chat saying that Scandi sacrificed Athenby to Odin.
For the gods, because of their because they're a Finnish faction. I get that, but it looks like we're seeing OPFOR go into a pincer maneuver. We have one squad tied to the rear BTR in the armored convoy along the MSR going to Hutala. I think they're going to go try to get on the northern objective, while the rest of the OPFOR force goes to the southern objective. And from there, they're going to try to pincer the central one, which isn't a bad call based off of the areas shown, you know? You got the northern one with the smallest area, so it's predictable where that cache is. I think they're trying to predict that BLUFOR probably won't send too much up there because of how limited the defenses are, but if you go to the south, you see that village in the forest that could be a little more defensible. But BLUFOR, I mean, I thought they were sending a squad down to defend the southern one. It looks like they're conceding that as well, and instead they're going to go for a single cache defense, but my question, no, so they have a marksman team on the southernmost cache with how do I say that? Yeah, Metamartian, I was right. So he's with Fred in Platoon 1 HQ. I thought they were going to put an explosive trap down right there, but that's not the case.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to do some Overwatch or recon with that marksman rifle, but
yeah,
they're not going to be able to do much against the sheer size of the force that's coming here.
Got the 50 cal cars pulled to the southern group, and it looks like they're going to hold right there. But they're being solo crewed as well. But it looks like, you know, these guys might actually be the whole technical team, because there's 6 infantry down here. And the technicals can each carry 3, so they might try to be a rapid AT force to get behind any armored assets coming in, which would be smart, but I think that would also be better if the MAT team did it, but who knows? I think they're just trying to be defensive with those assets themselves to watch that MSR coming in. Let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?
If BLUFOR just moved their tank 100 meters south, they'd be able to see, or they'd be able to hear the enemy convoy roll by as long as they leave their engine off. Right now, those BTRs and the T-80 might be able to roll right past them.
Yeah, honestly, a better spot for them to have been on is where one of the roads, like, you see how it goes a little windy on the road?
The roads have a bunch of little offshoots and side roads that come off, just sitting in any of those.
I mean, like, the real trick, for example, would be to be, especially considering this render distance, look at, let's see, 059037 numpad 5. Watching southeast on the little bit of elevation they have right there. They could easily take a shot at a lead vehicle and then pull back before they could counter, and they would easily be able to get a free kill right there, you know, and they could just use the fog to their advantage. But instead, them being that far out, I think they're turned out to try to listen for the convoy coming in, but
yeah,
I'm not sure at that range they're gonna be able to hear it. It's going to be faint. Because as I go up to the vehicles, I can only hear them. Like the tank.
I'm sitting at the tank. I can't hear the shit. Let me turn my music off.
The tank I can hear up to about 500 meters away, which, I mean, they might be able to get it. I think just as it's passing the large brown building at, let's see, 059039, I think they'll be able to hear it, and then they're going to try to go behind the convoy. Yeah, go ahead. Modded doing a sub to your man cam noise.
As those drive by, and you can just...
Welcome to your first stream, Ed.
I turned my
gave you a
effects
sub.
volume up,
Nice.
and you can just barely hear... Oh, you can hear the T-80 for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what this tank's relying on. Actually,
Yeah,
if you
you
go
take
to
an
the
absolute
BLUFOR,
look at
hold
that.
on, if you go to the BLUFOR T72 right now, you can actually hear the T80.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they're gonna let it pull around. They've just mounted back in their Vic.
By the way, they are two-man crewing the
Yep.
T-72.
They're just not gonna have the range to go and engage it, because by the time they spur their engine up and move in, they're gonna know they're coming, because they're probably gonna hear the audio out in the distance.
Visibility's getting even lower. It's like down to 30 meters.
Mm-hmm. I'd argue 10. I like this, though. I just hate to be a marksman in this environment, because the best, your best case in that situation would be to just get on the highest building you can and try to look down, because once you go on a higher spot, your visibility goes up to about 50 meters, which...
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
wanna
at
mess
that
with the high
point.
ground.
The enemy T-80 is 320 meters from the T-72 right now.
Yep, BTR swinging by. But that tank's not going to be able to hear that BTR. I'm just worried they're going to play this over cautiously and end up being completely ineffective, because I've seen that happen time and time again in Friday night fights.
So it looks like they're not really doing a big force split after all. Looks like 90% of Red 4's infantry are down south and west of the southern objective, coming up through that forest strip leading right up to it, or taking the long route.
They're playing incredibly cautious, which makes sense. It is a one-life PvP thing. However,
Larry, don't
keep
take
in mind with
first.
this visibility,
It's not
yeah,
enough.
you can hear which direction the engine shoot is coming from, but you can dismount like 100 meters from the enemy and they won't be able to even tell.
Let me check the range here. The BTR is pulled up on the right side of the T-72 tank. They're about 200 meters away, but because the BTRs make a much more silent engine compared to being drowned out by the tank, I think the T-72 is going to wait for the T-80 to be just faint in terms of its engine and then try to pull up behind where it is, but...
They should have turned it on while they were close by and all the other engine sounds would drown
Yeah,
out.
and that would have drowned it out exactly from being at range. But I think, again, they're playing it over risky. They just want to know where that tank is, and they're going to try to prioritize taking it out later. So I like BLUFOR's strategy. I just didn't really like their position. I think they could have been a little closer with this fog, but they were just playing it very cautiously. But at the same time, again, I keep seeing very cautious tank plays that end up getting squandered for the rest of the match.
And of course you missed it when Defensor and I were crewing the T-72 last week.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a panic attack.
You're fine, dude. See, now, optimal positioning for the tank on this side, though, is literally that T intersection, right, where they were placed. You could literally park it right there at the T, and they wouldn't see it until those two fucking
Exactly. And then all they need to do is just back away, and then within 10 meters, they'd be gone. That's why I also like my spot, because they were on a little bit of a hill, but all they needed to do was back away 5 meters, and then they would have had defilade in between, and OPFOR wouldn't have been able to return fire. But again, I like BLUFOR's strat here. I want to see how they follow up on it, because there has to be follow-up. Recon isn't good enough. Unless they're going to send the MAT team out to be mobile or the Southern AT team to be mobile against it. But in this weather condition, it's still going in blind, and that's very risky to do. I mean, looking at OPFOR's movement on the northern side with this one squad, I mean, it's 10 meters at best for visibility here. Not gonna lie, I kind of like this PvP dynamic because it's gonna force people to get right on top of each other.
I foresee a lot of friendly fire.
Yeah, no, that is definitely going to be a possibility if one squad accidentally overtakes another, especially in a combat situation. I think BLUFOR has a good opportunity to win if their tank comes around and takes out OPFOR's armor, but if BLUFOR... I don't think BLUFOR is going to be smart enough to do that, because they're already letting the tank move off. I think they're going to wait till the actual fight begins before BLUFOR closes, but...
Oh, they needed to do it when they had the chance.
Yeah.
They had the element of surprise.
Because by the time OPFOR starts setting up to move, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder to drown out that vehicle audio PID. But I am seeing 2 OPFOR guys coming up.
Bye, Brad.
Possibly close to the BLUFOR group. But again, this fog is going to be hard. Visibility around the central objective improves to about, I want to say, 20 to 30 meters max. No, honestly, 20 max. But it definitely picked up. But as we go into slightly higher ground, it starts to increase up to another like 30 meters, I'd say, at the BLUFOR objective, which could be beneficial here if BLUFOR maintains a good perimeter and has higher ranges, like in the like tops of buildings. If they can peer over the fog before OPFOR can see them, they could get a few first strikes in before OPFOR can react.
So this is just going to come down to who is better at CQC.
Pretty much. BLUFOR has some advantages they can press, but one's already been squandered.
You can see this from
It's worrying.
Ian and Falcon. Elevation, go up 5 meters and you can see a lot
more.
Further, even with this fog.
That's what I was saying with BLUFOR. If they can do that and they can hit OPFOR before OPFOR can even see them, BLUFOR is going to get a lot of free kills.
They're not taking advantage of the height advantage that they can
Iander and
Ian and Falcon are.
Yeah, they are.
But they're too busy talking shit to Finn through the roof from the looks of it. At least that's what I'd be doing.
I mean, I understand why Iander's up here, though. He's the AT guy. He's got the Carl Gustav out. He's waiting for some sort of vehicle rush. But OPFOR, they're going to play this incredibly cautious. They're going to hit the outskirt objectives first. My fear with this, though, is will OPFOR be able to move to the central cache in time?
Ooh, southeast of the central objective, we have Noodle and Warlords pushing up on their own. Just kind of infiltrating. They're combat-based, too. They're not really trying to be super sneaky about what they're doing.
Yeah, they are,
Always pumped for
their
FNF.
commands, 2IC and the command medic, I guess just trying to do some recon, but BLUFOR might catch them. Well, I mean, you have to do close recon like this.
If they lose that fucking long-range radio and someone is smart enough to pick it up, they're going to be able to listen in on two.
I'm in 3D. Thanks for the 4-month resub, my man. I hope you enjoyed tonight's branch of FNF, and I hope you get a kick out of this one.
Something.
Yeah, Vagrant just adjusted. So I think OPFOR was on yelling or something. That movement might have just been heard by Noodle, though. He's looking at that pipe. He's going to see Vagrant. And there's a one-tap, but Rolo sees Warlords and knocks him out. Because again, Rolo's using the height advantage, and he also knocks out Noodle right there. So 2 for 1.
Reaction.
That was great on Rolo. So again, BLUFOR utilizing those height advantages to see a little further in the fog. Immediately, Rolo was able to clap both of those guys. But now, again, BLUFOR has another advantage that you already described of will they go and take that command level radio and listen in on OPFOR's plans? Because at this stage in the game, that would be absolutely perfect, because then BLUFOR will be able to hear the coordination of the pincer movement and then possibly be able to send their MAT team or their tank behind those lines and take them out. We're about to see another fight with Fred and Martian against the main OPFOR force coming in.
I'm still just in awe at that reaction. They shot each other at the same time. Just, cinematic.
So you got Salty, who is a marksman. He's reconning the position out on his own. Not a bad call to use your marksman as scouts at this point.
There's a wall there. You won't be able to see anything over the wall. If there's people behind it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he could climb on top of the rock, but he's also checking the second-story windows here, so...
Smart. Well, sadly, there are no second-story windows on his side.
Yeah. Well, OPFOR can look into them, Forehead.
Just looking at it from a bird's eye view of the southern objective, 2 BLUFOR guys surrounded by an army of Red 4.
Well,
I'm just heard the VIX from the central area.
MG, but literally all they have to do is sit there by that staircase and just throw grenades down. Pop a smoke in there, cause confusion. And
shoot them as they come up the stairs.
Shoot them as they charge up the stairs. Red
until they take the building down.
Surprised them heard that.
Northeastern objective. They are slowly but surely advancing into it.
So there's Vagrant down.
I always enjoyed this structure from Arma 2 that the one on the northeast is in.
Can you guys, can you be quiet for 1 second? I'm trying to listen for something. Okay, so Modadict, who's watching the multi, told me Nemesis heard the armored Vix coming of the tank, and at his range, I actually can just barely hear the tank over my music. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably not listening to music, so he'd be able to hear it. So, BLUFOR at this point knows that the tank is at the northeastern cache. So, we're starting to see that. Yep.
Most of us, we turn our effect volumes up to like max for FNF so we could hear stuff, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Spurdo's pushing into the cache room.
BLUFOR just spotted on the southern cache. They were trying to climb onto the second story and they were engaged. Now I think they're going to try to pull out of there. Yep. Good call. But now BLUFOR is going to know that there's a group on the southern cache, so they're going to anticipate this pincer maneuver coming in. So why isn't the BLUFOR tank moving?
Takes time to get the message to them, I guess, but they need to move.
Should we make Mox Perm sub?
They needed to move 15 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Boston. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a shame neither of the guys down at the southern base, or southern cache, neither of them were combat engineers, couldn't set a charge on a timer, or even a clacker.
Explosives, in my opinion, are one of the most underutilized features in Friday night fights. I have seen...
the northeastern cache. They're all mag dumping it.
Yep, and there it goes. So that's the northern cache done. But as I was saying, when I started talking about explosives being utilized like months ago, when Barb introduced me, they were very ineffective. But ever since I started reaping on them with Barb, I've seen explosive traps used a lot more often. And it's rare when they land their mark because a lot of them are just randomly placed. But when they hit, they are absolutely devastating. So in this case, put an explosive trap not on the ammo cache, but in the building. Blow up the building with 2 satchels. You're going to kill people. Especially if they're on the second story of the cache and then just watch it go in. Yep.
BLUFOR Tank is finally moving.
Thank fuck.
Hallelujah.
They're going to go down the MSR, probably run into the other tank and hit it right on the rear. That will be a near guaranteed kill. And if they can knock that out, then they can also knock out the BTRs. But that tank revving its engine, it's going to be really hard for them to hear the other tank. Another important thing to note, the T-80 is a lot louder than the T-72, so they're not going to hear it coming.
You can hear the difference in the engine sounds now, by the way.
True. By the way, Potato CF running up to Meta Martin and Fred and getting shot and double tapped by Martian.
Nice. Way to go, Potato.
This is TSB. I mean, we've got Risen poking his head out with the machine gun trying to find things. But Meta Martian just went down. Fred also wounded. That was some shots by Berna here. So a great flanking shot, seeing those silhouettes through the fog. Absolutely incredible. And OPFOR Tank is repositioning north. BLUFOR Tank has halted. Should Mox be perma-subbed? Yes. Should always enjoy that.
On Fred as well, I think.
BLUFOR Tank has adjusted to the audio, though. This is basically like Sonar fighting at this point. Both the fucking tank is listening.
To the audio. I think they're trying to flank it, thinking it's still on the road, but don't know it's right in front of them, because look where the turret's pointed. Oh.
They just shut the audio. No, they're relying on the audio to follow it. Yep. No, so they're literally playing a Sonar game with it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Smart. Now, here's the real thing. They're taking tanks and vehicles into a forest and
that's gonna be tough. OPFOR doesn't know that BLUFOR Tank's there yet, though.
I'm surprised no one's been armored yet, vehicle-wise.
Well, they're going slow, so that decreases the likelihood of them getting armored. But Boston and who's that with them? Vlad, they're playing this incredibly cautious. I like it. But tracking them through that forest is going to be difficult. Go ahead, sorry.
I just want to see him follow the BTR and just fall in line with them and see how long it takes Red Fort. There's another tank here. What? What do you mean? Our tank's right in front of us.
So by the way, we got Milky, Sirius, and Gravel coming up to where Fred and Martian was. They found Martian's body, but they're still looking around, I think, because they properly PID'd that there were 2 guys here. But we're going to have ground command for OPFOR crossing Fred's line. Ooh. Again, Fred doesn't know that that is the guy in charge. If he did, he probably would have risked taking him out. Hold up, BLUFOR Tank's now coming up.
Doing the same thing, turn off the engine, getting bearing on the audio.
And OPFOR's gone into an open area, a little more open than what compared to the rest of the forest. Well, I mean, what BLUFOR needs to do is they need to make sure they don't hit one of the BTRs first. They need to hit the tank first. Preferably shooting out its engine and pulling away, or hitting the turret and disabling that.
Turret.
Yeah. Fred's still sneaking around right here. I'm not.
Turns the engine back on. They're mobile.
Right as they start to move again.
That's perfect.
They're not gonna hear it. Wait, that last BTR is looking around though. It is worth noting, T-80 has a 3-man crew in it right now, while the T-72 only has 2.
God, we have a stealth play by Fred, and we have a fucking stealth play by the fucking BLUFOR Tank. I love this.
that one RCC guy knows there's a second person here. They just haven't. I don't know if they communicated that to everyone else.
I
But we
don't
have
see
Risen
demo
and
on the
Moxie
Southern
are
cache.
both holding.
Yeah, Fred's trying to peek his head out.
I'm gonna follow the tanks.
There's the Southern cache. Fred's using that explosion to get away, and no one's gonna see him. He threw a frag, too, to try to distract. Pyramid saw Fred run, but he misses his shots. And I think Fred's gonna be home free here. So beautiful play by Fred, trying to do that distraction, outrunning. I don't think he outran Pyramid, just missed his shots there, unfortunately.
Fredo, all of the vehicles are almost into open ground.
Yeah. See, but the fear is OPFOR is getting ready to make a pincer maneuver here. This might actually be a three-flank maneuver with a northern group and a southern group engaging, and then the main force coming in through the west. But the armored Vics are going to be immediately there to support the northern attack. BLUFOR is running out of time to engage.
They should have, I believe this was a 45 minute, then the 15.
It would be a 50-minute. So we have about 25 minutes remaining, but that's plenty of time for this AO.
Yep, both of the auxiliary caches down. I'd say 25 minutes is a good enough time frame. More explosions going off. Oh, look at where legs and pads are in Dingo over south of the central objective.
They just blew up a truck by ramming it into a barn. I love it.
No, they closed the door on the truck and it was stuck in the wall.
Even better.
Did that kill them?
No, they're still... I don't see any new skulls other than what we've already seen, so...
Twig is right next to that marksman again. Although Fred definitely got lit up, bleeding a lot.
Yeah, so he might have actually gotten hit a few times as he was pulling away, so that's why he's bandaging.
Coming up on that T-80. T-80 is none the wiser. If they turned their engine off, they would hear it. This game of cat and mouse between these tanks is,
Boston needs to be more aggressive.
Oh, they're about to have sight lines on each other.
Well, they do have a sight line,
Come on.
but it's so fucking foggy.
Come on, a little more.
Clear sight line. They just need to be closer. Boston's pulling up.
He's gonna go for it.
Go,
They can see
go,
the silhouette.
go, come on!
There it is. Take the shot.
Right.
Beautiful rear hit, disabled
Engine
engine. And it's cooking. We got crew dismounts.
I'm not sure if it's cooking quite yet. Well, it's cooking now.
Second round goes in, and little glitchy. Lusode gets ragdolled out. Jonathan running for it, but that is exactly what BLUFOR need to do in that situation, and now they need to get out of there before they are potentially counterattacked by AT. But thank God that play was finally done. Great work there. It was cutting it very close. By the way, we have OPFOR right on top of BLUFOR guys in the cache. Frank just double tapped a BLUFOR guy. Them assist got David, but he goes down to HUD. And we also have T5 Bay. Oh, and he just got a kill. T5 Bay being one of the really strong guys.
Brian getting friendly fire.
No, Brian shot by T5 Bay, but HUD found Bay and takes him out. Oh.
Good attempt. Good attempt.
David, he wasn't friendly fire. He was shot by someone else, but I think BLUFOR, they got a few more kills in there than OPFOR, so that was great. BLUFOR's tank has to be careful, though. They might end up driving into OPFOR hostiles here.
I'm gonna look around for AT.
None of them have AT.
One of them did. Aim at the balls on the southern flank, getting knocked out. That southern BLUFOR group is now going to engage the OPFOR group there. But no, they've completely nullified. Go ahead.
Closest AT to the BLUFOR tank is Arcalis with the RPG-32. These are the MAT teams. It's like...
Ooh! Grenades going out, destroying one of the technicals that BLUFOR had, and it did some damage to OPFOR guys next door.
Ooh,
And
Mountain goes down to a
just got
secondary.
Annihilated by it. No, that was a grenade.
Oh, it's a grenade? Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, he's fucking dead.
I think that was Dimitri's grenade.
BLUFOR just drove, hold up, the tank just drove right next to Twig King, and Twig King just realized. That's why they don't have third person, so the tank didn't know. They literally almost ran over OPFOR command on accident, because you're not supposed to, you're not allowed to do that stuff.
Not
BLUFOR tank now pulling in, though.
Well, let's see these guys.
Is it gonna get Sandboy? Yes, it does. It tries to engage him.
He's trying to keep moving. He's gotta watch out with these rocks and trees.
Yep.
Ooh, Finn got disconnected. I know he was still alive, too.
It's because the speed requirements got him. Or it might have been Bread reconnecting. Sandboy getting hit by Hod here. And the desync's coming back a little bit because people are losing connections and trying to reconnect. They really need to lock the server once op start to stop
Yeah,
that.
that's been a contemplation thing for it. Oh my god, Freddy.
Boston just totally killed Freddy there.
No, Freddy disconnected, but Freddy was about to AT that tank.
Amazing.
That disconnect saved Boston from a friendly fire moment.
That's divine intervention, then. That has to be divine
Deus Ex there.
Deus Ex fucking Machina.
We're about to be on our 20-minute warning again. We're having a Southern group engaging each other, but the desync is being a little bit of an issue here. Cider doing his best to suppress OPFOR as they move along that Southern group. Hold on.
DeClerc and Savage are on opposite sides of a wall from each other.
Go Team 6 now.
We got Spud about to rock right in front of Fuss, but Fuss decides to move south. Spud could run into him. Oh, this
Flagging
decent
stuff doesn't help.
Yeah, Fuss does spot Spud, though. Kurt, thanks so much for the 24-month resub, my man. It has been 2 years. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this one. Yeah, I know it was those few network disconnects that just happened that kind of threw the server out of balance, I'm afraid.
See if we can recuperate.
Mm-hmm. Got Arcor coming in, taking out Sandboy.
Those shots gonna pull Savage's attention away. Or at least they should. DeClerc might get an opportunity here. The Savage absolutely knows that DeClerc is there.
We got Fred also prone, trying to get some licks in on OPFOR's advance right here, because they're advancing right on top of him. But someone just threw a grenade right next to him. I think because Salty watched him go down there, so he's got to be careful. We got Fuss moving in behind OPFOR forces, but he's got Twig and Bay Potato right behind him as well. But I don't think they're going to see the BLUFOR guy in time. Have the OPFOR tank just driving around blindly. The two BTR-80s being held in reserve. Fred going down to Slav and Salty, taking him out. And we have Fuzzy.
Real close to that tank.
Beautiful.
Coming up with the RPG.
So Fuzzy just got behind 3 OPFOR guys. Killed one of them with his bullets, threw a grenade and knocked Hassinger out, and also wounded Dylan. Dylan turned around.
T-72 kill.
Nice. Yeah, they ran into a group of TSB. That's unfortunate. And it looks like the BLUFOR guy was taken out by Rust and Twig King coming around on the northern group. Savage getting in a fight with the Clark. Savage winning because he has a machine gun. And the Southern attack has also been pushed through. We only have buckets left with AT, and OPFOR is licking their wounds. But now you're going to start seeing OPFOR kind of come in here with a really nice concave. And BLUFOR doesn't have any support to go with this.
Neither does Red 4 at this point as well.
Red 4 has a really good concave, and they've got 2 BTR-80 still in reserve. I think those things should be pushing up the MSRs here to kind of assist. We got the 15-minute warning called. And now it's just going to be down to the CQB, which is going to be a little difficult to do with the desync going on.
I feel like that'll be a bit of attacker's advantage. Because you slide in and...
Yep.
But you're not really there. Who knows?
I don't know. If Blue stays indoors, and they are forced to clear these buildings, like if you look where the cache is and the amount of people that are near there...
Lots of fire going on the north side.
Yep.
Rust is being
Holding that
suppressed
attack
by
Dream, who killed one of Rust's guys.
Dream and Ender.
BTR-80 starting to come into the AO again.
I think it might have got pushed up, but the tanks were destroyed.
Rust now coming in along the flank, trying to close the gap. It's a good call. See, with the desync, that's also going to make hearing footsteps really hard to do, and that's what BLUFOR is going to try to rely on to get these flanks here, as we see Rust going past Dreams' position to try to get on Ender. And I think Rust just got a kill. No, he did not. So Savage looks like he tried to push up, but he was hit. I don't know what he was hit by. Maybe he just got armored into the wall, unless BLUFOR had units there but pulled back.
The fuck?
13 minutes remain. Honestly, these 80s aren't going to be that effective now since BLUFOR is just entrenched.
I'd say they still be useful for suppressing the windows and helping OPFOR get a hold of breach into.
Yeah, as you were saying that, hold on, one of the BTRs just shot at some of their own guys and almost killed them. Thankfully, no casualties, but...
I'm going to hop down the channel and politely ask them to stop trying to join the server while the match is going on, because that just creates lag.
That's just
it's causing more and more desync here.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so unfortunately, even though we had some really cool maneuvers in this match, the desync is getting drowned out pretty hard. Russ is probably going to be able to shoot Ender here in the back of the head. Oh, he doesn't check his right! But Ash doesn't take the shot.
Getting 2 kills.
Yep, Rust had an opportunity to hit him. Ash had an opportunity to hit Rust, but Rust, because Rust didn't check his left on the breach, but Ash didn't react to it in time because of this desync. Now Striker is up here on his own, hiding in a corner. Well, I mean, a good clear out by Rust, but I think with the desync not going on, Ash would have been able to hit Rust as he went up the stairwell.
And now we'll see if Striker has the guts to peek out amid all that chaos.
I missed all of that fight.
You're good.
Anderson knocking out Jonathan.
Iander getting knocked out.
King. That is the Red 4 commanders now down.
Oof.
And there goes Rust. Striker finally got him.
Nice. Gotta get that double tap, though. We also have Ander, yep, with that BLUFOR group. They're with Nafes, too. They're trying to close around OPFOR's right flank along the north and northwest.
Ander's down with that Carl Gustav as the BTR is pulling up. Fails the wake-up check as well, so he's not going to be pulling up.
Yep, but now these BTRs are going to be able to use their 14.5mm to suppress into the buildings here.
Skelly's calling out, trying to get to that Carl
this
Gustav
Nemesis
and
is
do
too
something about
hard.
BTR.
You got Buckets that's come around. He knocked out Dingo and Legs.
Yellow chain.
Yep, there's been a stop right here.
Yep, that's a
I don't have the chain yet.
I do.
Oh, this isn't good because this is like the critical moment.
I was kicked off the game.
And Skelly was able to... is trying to drag Ian's body back, but there's no body there, and... yeah, I think it's because people just keep trying to rejoin.
Yep.
A bunch
I
of
was
people
kicked
got
off as
kicked
well.
out.
Yep.
And so was I.
Oof. Well,
We'll never know. We'll never know.
so next time on Dragon Ball Z, who do you think's gonna win?
Let's go downstairs and find out.
Because
Yeah, no, I came right in front. You guys were directly behind me. I heard you guys' shots. I came right in front of your guys' faces, popped both of you guys in your heads.
See,
For me, you were down by a rock.
yeah, same for me. Damn it, that sucks.
Question, do we rejoin or do we wait for everyone still in task force to get up here?